everyone, I'm Melissa Rush with Arizona Gateway Real Estate. Today I am talking about how much it costs to live in Gilbert and the surrounding areas. I'm a realtor and I can help you wherever you're looking in the Phoenix metro area. I love to help buyers find their primary home, retirement home, or even an investment property in the Valley of the Sun. Gilbert is a great place to call home, not only because it has such desirable features. We have great outdoor activities, we have great restaurants, we have great golf courses, but we also have one of the lowest crime rates, making it one of the safest cities in Arizona and even across the country statistically. So let's get down to why you're here and how much does it actually cost to live in Gilbert, Arizona. Gilbert is located in Maricopa County, and currently we have around 273,000 residents. So we've seen quite a bit of growth in a fairly quickly amount of time. So Gilbert has transitioned from being a more agricultural suburb to a very affluent suburb. And with that, we have seen some sticker shock when it comes to the cost of living. So currently we are sitting around 13% higher than the Phoenix metro area when it comes to the cost of living, and we are around 19% higher than your national average. Now, that being said, it's really going to depend on where you're coming from. So if you are coming from a small town in the Midwest, Gilbert's going to seem more expensive. If you're coming from Seattle, Chicago, California, New York, we're going to actually probably seem less expensive. For instance, California is sitting at around a 29% higher cost of living than Phoenix. And the housing is actually around 36% higher. So people moving from California find Arizona to be a little bit better cost of living and a better lifestyle for them if they do choose to make the move. You know, I'm also big on giving my clients resources. So there are several good resources out on the web which can give you kind of an idea of what moving here might look like. So there's smartasset.com, nerdwallet.com, and payscale.com. And I gave you three because all of them do it a little differently, and some don't even give Gilbert as an option. They only give Phoenix as an option. And so you're kind of comparing, okay, well, that's Phoenix rates. And as I just said, Gilbert's a little more expensive than Phoenix, but it will give you an idea of what those costs look like. So what your salary needs to be. So if I said I'm moving from Los Angeles to Phoenix, my $65,000 salary in Los Angeles might be fine at a $50,000 salary in Phoenix. So you can kind of just plug in some cities, plug in some numbers, and get some ideas to see what comparisons look like. And again, I'm big on resources, so use them because you want to know what you're getting into before you actually make a move. You never want to put yourself into a situation where you are struggling financially. So number one on our cost list is housing, and housing has definitely increased over the last several years, primarily due to the two post-pandemic years where we did see a lot of multiple offer situations, low inventory, and events that increased the price point of our homes. So currently the median list price in Gilbert is sitting at $699,000. Please don't totally let that scare you off, because we do also have a lot of affluent homes, large homes, and multi-million-dollar homes that bring that list price up. But if you are entry level and looking at a condominium, you can get in the low 300s, which is still less than renting. So if you're looking at a condo, they're probably going to start around 335, go up to 350 and over for 1,000 to 1,400 square feet. So your mortgage rate's going to be somewhere around $1,500 or $1,600 a month, and our average rent right now is like $2,400 a month. So still very affordable if that's an option for you. Now, if you're looking at a single family home, 2,000 square feet is going to sit more around the $500,000 range. So there are a lot of home options there. Now, Gilbert, Chandler, and Queen Creek, Santan Valley are all really close together. And once you're here in the valley, you find that people move within these cities back and forth, and there is not a huge difference in the cost of living when it comes to food, gas, and transportation. But the housing can vary a little bit. So Chandler used to be a little tiny bit more expensive than Gilbert. I think Gilbert's kind of caught up with them. Queen Creek has always been a little less than Gilbert, and now Santan Valley, I think their average median list price right now is around $459. So people have moved out to get the house that they want at a little bit lower price. Sometimes if they have to commute in a little bit further, they're willing to make that trade-off to have the house at the price that they can afford. Number 2 on my list is utilities. Electric is one of our family's most unexpected expenses out here, and primarily that is due to air conditioning. So the average electric bill is around $182 a month, might be a little less depending on the size of your home. And we have 2 electric companies out here. We have SRP and APS, and they have different plans that are available to consumers. So you kind of have to just work with the plans and see which one might work best for you and your family. Now, if you do not go on one of their time of use type plans, you're gonna have to just understand that in the summer from June to August, your electric bills might be pretty lofty. So for instance, in my personal household, our electric bills in the winter might be $60, but in the summer months, they could be $500 a month. It really just depends on how much our AC is running, and I'm not talking Antarctica in our house. We keep our AC at around 78 degrees. So electric is really going to be depending on, do you have a pool? How good are you at keeping lights on or off? Are you running the AC at 68 degrees or 78 degrees? And are you using one of those plans that are helping you save some energy costs? There are also homes out here that do have solar, so that's an option depending on whether or not that solar is owned or leased, because if it's leased, you may actually have a payment on that. That would offset any savings that you're getting from the solar system. But the solar system would help with those electric costs. Then you have homes that have electric and gas. So gas would be a cost. Gas can do gas stoves, it can do gas heating, gas water heaters, and then there are some gas heaters for pools. So gas can be a utility, that's a cost to factor in, and then you have your water bill and your trash bills. So utilities can be factored in for cost of living that might be a little bit higher than you're used to depending on what area of the country you are in. And again, just knowing that those summer months, if you are not prepared for them, you want to be aware that those AC bills and those summer rates that they charge can kind of be surprising, and you need to be prepared for them.
So, transportation is also a little bit higher in Arizona. According to data from AAA, Arizona ranks one of the top 5 most expensive states for gas in the nation. It's usually about $1 above the national average. Right now, we're about $3.80 a gallon, and of course, that fluctuates on a daily basis. Why is primarily because we do not have any refineries of our own and we rely on pipelines. Um, for our car batteries, the heat is really hard on them. So they only last around 2 years. So just be prepared that the car batteries are going to go out in the summer, and they always go out at the most inopportune times. And then car insurance depends on where you're coming from. We are actually pretty average for the nation, but if you're coming from the Midwest, again, it may seem quite expensive for car registration and insurance. But if you're coming from California, that price may seem like a great deal.
Grocery and food costs vary by family. Across the nation, Gilbert has just kind of a status quo, 0% change. So it's not that we are really higher or lower than any other state or area. And it so much depends on what your family eats. Do you eat kind of your basic groceries, or do you eat all organic food, and because organic meats and stuff can get really pricey, right? So I really have a hard time comparing grocery costs, but we do have everything from your McDonald's and fast food restaurants up to your five-star fine dining resort type restaurants. So you can spend very little on food, or you can spend a great deal on food. It's really up to you and what your preferences are. So that's kind of a cost of living that you can control, and it's going to be a very cost of living for healthcare is also variable because it depends on if you have good health insurance. And if you have great health insurance, then your cost may be a little bit less. If you have no health insurance, then it's going to be a little bit more. So I would expect that a doctor's visit is going to cost you around $150 a visit. Prescriptions are across the board. You can have a $5 prescription, you can have a $500 prescription. A vet visit, if you just need basic shots for your pet, could be $45, or it could be $200. I mean, it really depends on, do you go to a clinic or do you go to a high-end vet? So for healthcare, the costs are kind of hard for me to dive into for comparison's sake, but we do have some fabulous healthcare for if you're moving here. There are several, we have Mayo Clinic, we have Cancer Centers of America, we have Banner Desert facilities, we have Mercy Gilbert facilities. We have really high-end doctors. So for healthcare, like as a whole, the availability to be taken care of is fantastic. If you're still with me, you're probably thinking, what income, Melissa, do I need to earn then to live in Gilbert, Arizona comfortably? What I would say is, on the low end, you probably need to be around 65 to 70,000, and on the more comfortable range, up over six figures. Now, the median income in Gilbert is $104,000. Dual families sometimes earn much more than that. So it really depends on your lifestyle, how large of a home that you want to live in, do you have children, and many, many factors. So hopefully this helps you figure some of that out. If any of this sounds good to you and you're thinking like, yes, I'm ready, let's move, reach out. I am here for you. I want to help you and your family move to Arizona. I want to answer all your questions. Feel free to email me, DM me, comment below, ask me any questions that you need to. I am here to answer all your questions and help get you moved if it's the right situation for you. So until next time.